Those are all spotted lanternflies.
Hey everyone, we're here today at the Honan Avenue hiking trail just outside Cambria City in Johnstown. We're here at the trailhead, getting ready to head up the trail. There's actually no parking at the trailhead. We had to park down the street at actually the bottom of Honan Avenue where it intersects with Iron Street. And then you walk up Honan Avenue, and then it eventually turns into a trail. It used to be a road the entire way from here up to Hinkston Run, but this part of the road we're starting on now has been abandoned. It's still a public road right of way, so that's why we can use it as a trail and hike on it, but it's not a maintained road anymore, which you'll see it's kind of a beat up roadway, but we're hoping to see some good wildlife and some good views as we head up this trail today.
So here, guys, is the beginning of the spotted lanternfly. You can see it here. They're all over this tree. Not a good sign if you are anti-invasive species. So just wanted to point them out here on the trail.
We have some signs giving some of the interesting history of the area. There used to be a mill, the Rosedale Mill, down in the valley there. It's long gone, not in use anymore, but they'd make coke there for the coke ovens for the steel mills. And you can kind of see down through the clearing there into Cambria City, the Johnstown Discovery Center down there. So we're getting up in elevation a little bit above where we started.
1,328.
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
We can see all over this hillside a major invasive plant species in our area, Japanese knotweed. This stuff just takes over everywhere and pushes everything else out. As you can tell up there, it's like super thick stuff. You can't walk through it. It's hard for animals to get through it. It's become a pretty major issue in our area, and there's just tons and tons of it along this trail. It's all lining both sides of the trail. This stuff is like impossible to kill too. You pretty much have to rip out the roots to kill it. You can't even burn it, can you?
No, it'll just grow back.
Yeah, if you burn it, it'll just grow back. It's some nasty stuff, and it's all over the place up here. We got another plaque here, which is actually kind of overgrown by knotweed, but talks about Rosedale families. There was a black town or area outside of Johnstown where a lot of the people that worked in the Rosedale mine and the Rosedale Coke Works worked, and there's actually a book out now called Banished from Johnstown that talks about some bad incidents that happened in town, and how the mayor forced all the black citizens of the area, and especially this Rosedale community, to leave town. And it pretty much was the end of that settlement, of that community, and really hurt race relations in the Johnstown area for a number of years. And so this plaque kind of talks about that, and down in this valley that we're overlooking is where the Rosedale neighborhood used to be, and the Rosedale Coke Works used to be down there as well.
Stilt grass right here, Japanese stilt grass. It's an Asian species, not supposed to be here, and It's just something that you will find uncommon. It's not uncommon. It's usually in warmer places, not in higher elevation like this. We're at like 1,700 feet, 1,600 feet, something like that. You'd normally think you wouldn't find it, but it's becoming a real nuisance, and it'll actually shade out trees and it can kill them. So with it, seeing it along the trail, it's not a surprise. It's an open canopy where it grows. It doesn't grow deeper in the forest. If you went like 10 feet that way, it wouldn't be there. So anything along the trails is what it's gonna try to kill. So you can see we've got native goldenrod and some different asters and other plants in the mix here. It's trying to wipe those out. It's gonna be an interesting battle between the plants because goldenrod is also inevitable. It'll grow wherever it wants, so it will never eventually choke it out. It'll always persist. Just something crazy to see. Here's the goldenrod. See, it just went up above it. That's how the goldenrod dealt with the stilt grass. It's an indicator of a wetland. It grows in wet areas. That orange flower, that's jewelweed. They say that's a natural remedy if you get poison ivy, but if you get it like I get it, it doesn't help. But some people, you break it open and the juice from the jewelweed will actually treat the poison ivy.
See some guardrail along here in spots, remnants of when this used to be a travelable road. People used to drive from downtown up to Hingston Run on this road, but now it's an abandoned road and pretty deteriorated, kind of just a gravel path right now. Seen a number of honeybees along the way, pollinating the different plants and things along the trail here. It's good to see them. Honeybees have been in decline, and a species that really needs protected in our area and really needs brought back into a good population.
Frogs are jumping in. Yeah, you can see tadpoles. It's pretty sweet. You can see the knotweed is trying to take it over though.
Yeah, you can see beaver dam up there. I don't know how good you can see it on the actual video here, but there's an old beaver dam here and created a little pool down here with some frogs and some tadpoles in it. When we go a little further, there's a much bigger marshy area on the upper side of the beaver dam. You can see the big marshy area on the upper side of the beaver dam. Yeah, this is a nice big wetlands area created by this beaver dam and just a runoff from the hillside collecting in this low spot. It's private property once you get off the roadway here, so we can't venture in too far.
Oh, look at this giant water snake. Got it. We got ourselves the native species of grasshopper there. Hold on, I don't want to like, there we go. This is actually my favorite grasshopper. He's gonna jump off soon. You wanna see a grasshopper? This would be the prey item right now, this time of the year for the frogs and toads.
Big.
This is a native grasshopper. Oh, he pooped on me. Get your phone, I'll get a video of him. Got some nice grasshopper poop. He pooped himself when he saw me. This is one of the very few species that's actually like a truly native grasshopper. It's not a katydid, it's not a cricket, it's a legit grasshopper.
On the opposite side of the trail from the Beaver Dam pond, we have this little stream. This is actually coming out of the spillway from Hingston Run and running the whole way down here. We're still probably 2 miles or so from Hingston Run Reservoir, but this is the spillway water coming off. Drone is one of our newer tools here at Woods and Forest Media. It allows us to get some cool shots. We're flying over the Beaver Dam marshy area here, which allows us to get a perspective we can't get just on our own here on the ground. We flew it up a little bit ago and got a whole perspective of just how big this wetland area is. It looks big from the ground, but when you actually get up and can see the whole thing in one shot, it gives you a nice perspective of just how big this marshy area is and how much stuff could possibly be in it, from frogs to turtles to who knows what else could be in there.
Shot, you get a far shot.
Got a nice big turkey vulture sitting on the old telephone pole up there. It's kind of cool. I don't know that I've seen one quite this close up. They're ugly looking birds. Well, we're back to the start. We had a nice hike today, a lot warmer than I expected it to be, which is better than the snowstorms we usually hike through. So we had a good time today. We saw a lot, saw a couple different invasive species, invasive plant species, invasive animal species. We got to see a big pond wetland area, hear a bunch of frogs calling, maybe even some interesting frog species up there that we need to check into more in the future. Got to see some historical stuff, a nice view of Cambria City in Johnstown. Just a nice little trail, a pretty easy walk, some elevation change, but an easy surface to walk on. You're not trudging right through the woods, more like a rail trail, gravel path type surface. But interesting stuff to see, a good hike today.